Welcome to another exciting episode of the OG of Good Game, and I am your host, the original OG, Zero Game. On today's exciting episode, we are going to discuss how to protect our community from police harassment and brutality. This is a hot episode. You don't want to miss it. We're going to cover a lot, including on how to protect our communities, how to keep surveillance on police at all times, and how to patrol our own communities for our own protection and safety. That's what's coming up today on the original Guru of Good Game with your host, Zero G. Welcome to the original Guru of Good Game. I am your host, the original Guru, Zero Game. And I want to thank you for coming back and listening, and we're going to get into this hot topic right now. How we can protect ourselves, or at least how we can improve accountability in our communities. Because see, we have a problem with law enforcement. Now, I'm not saying law enforcement is a bad entity. I'm not saying that all law enforcement officers are inherently bad or violent or vicious or racist or anything like that. I don't even want anybody to, remotely believe that's what I believe. But there is a reality that somebody need to check the police. They have internal affairs, but internal affairs is only called in when there is a problem with the officers' procedures or how they handle situations or got in a situation that warrants internal affairs to do an investigation. And that's all fine and well, but how does that help in my community? Okay, because we have police who come into our community, and for some reason, they have an attitude, and everybody is a suspect, regardless of who you are. As long as your skin color is not the right skin color, you are a fucking suspect, plain and simple. And when they come in our communities, they automatically look at us as if we already guilty of a crime, and they're there to pass judgment and execution if necessary. And as we've seen in this last incident with George Floyd, most people are calling that an execution. That gentleman who was on his neck, it seemed like he was intending to kill this man one way or the other. I don't know what brought about this type of aggression towards him, or what did he do when they worked together at that nightclub that brought this aggression towards him from this officer. To most people, it just looked like it was an execution, and he executed him for some reason that we are still unaware of. Now, it could have been an accident. It could have been a mistake. It could have been he just got a little bit overly aggressive, and this was the result of it. But from all the video surveillance that we seen or pieced together of what mostly we are allowed to see, it all looks like he was intending on executing this man, period. And that's just the way it looks. Now, I could be wrong, but like I said, that's just the way it looks. So in the spirit of protection and community and trying to curb this violent behavior that is directed towards the urban community, I've been working on an idea. And, people let me know if I'm crazy or if it sounds like crap or if you just think I'm batshit crazy. Let me know, because I want to see safety in our communities. And I believe that what we need to do is we have to curb police behavior when they come into our communities. See, they come in our communities and they already got a bad attitude, and which manifests in the bad behavior on their part. So we have to figure out a way to curb their actions or their attitude when they come in our community. We have to change the way they think or the way they perceive a community before they come in it. So my proposal and my suggestion, and I hope everybody pays attention to this, and once again, like I said, if you think it's a crazy idea, let me know. If you think it's a great idea, definitely let me know. But my idea is plain and simple, and what I propose is a community surveillance system. And what I'm talking about is an independent neighborhood surveillance system of cameras and drones. And the purpose of that is cops come into the neighborhood, put them fuckers on camera the minute they roll into our neighborhood. We put up a perimeter. We put cameras up on that perimeter. As soon as they come drive in the neighborhood from any street, any access point, they're immediately on camera. And then we watch their ass the entire time they in our neighborhood. So this way we can keep a check on who's doing what before they do it. So this way we can keep an eye on all these fuckers when they roll in the neighborhood. And we can also contradict any of the bullshit stories they come up with as to why they throwing this person on the ground, why they punching this one in the face, why they putting a knee on this one's neck, why they choking this person out. And we'll be able to say, see, that's bullshit. They lying. They trying to make up a story to protect their own. And with cameras, now, as far as the cameras go, these are all going to be community controlled. That means that the police has no access to these cameras, none whatsoever. And that they must come to the community leadership organization or group, or however y'all want to set it up in your community, and request that they get access to the surveillance camera. Because I personally recommend that we make them public before we make them private. In other words, if we record something and it's an officer doing something wrong, or if it's an officer claiming that the suspect was trying to take their gun, or they was trying to attack them, or they was fearing for their life, this, that, and other, from now on, we will have video surveillance of the incident before it happened, while it's happening, and after it's happening, instead of just body cam that was cut off, then cut back on, or it was on, then it was cut off, or we didn't get to see what led to the officer doing what he doing, or this, that, and the other. This will help eliminate that, and it will also keep these fuckers in check so they ain't out here just fucking us over whenever they feel like it, because that's pretty much where they're at now. They believe they can do what they want because why? I'm an officer of the law. I have a gun and a badge, which gives me a platinum card to go and fuck over whoever I want to fuck over whenever I want to fuck over them, and ain't shit you can do about it. Because if you make a complaint or whatever, I ain't going to go nowhere. My sergeant, my chief, this, that, and the other, they ain't going to do a damn thing about it, and that's a fucking problem. But like I said, this will be a community-controlled video camera system. And we want to mount these to privately owned homes and buildings. In other words, there's nothing going to be on public property. So no street lights, no traffic lights, no stop signs, no street signs, nothing that the city has to maintain or control or regulate or have jurisdiction over. Okay, we mount these on our porches. We put cameras in our front windows. We put them on the side of our houses. We put a flagpole up in the front of the house. We'll put a camera on that. We got a flagpole in the back of the house. We'll put a camera on that. We got a tree in front of our house or on our property. We'll put a camera on that. And we keep cameras throughout the neighborhood. I mean, I'm talking like putting a camera on every fucking block, on every corner, on as many homes as people willing to allow a camera to be stuck on their home. And more importantly, we want these hardwired into the system. We're going to have wireless, but we're going to hardwire the majority of the cameras. So like I said, if it's mounted on somebody's home, it's hardwired into the system from that person's home. If it's mounted on a building, it's hardwired. The only ones that may be wireless would be the drones, some of the cameras that we might mount outside or, just in the local area. That way we can keep check as to which are wireless, which are wired, and we can also keep a little bit of better control over who has access. Because see, hardwire, they won't be able to just hack in there and change audio or video and delete shit. Wireless, possibility. Hardwired, no, you can forget that. So we want the majority of them hardwired, and that way that keeps, that bullshit from happening. We also want to make sure that all video footage is downloaded to a closed intranet neighborhood system. So it's not accessible by the internet unless somebody physically goes into the central location and hardwire plugs something into another device that would allow it to access the internet. That way we avoid any hackers stealing a damn thing or changing anything or altering something or deleting something. You'd have to actually be able to go there, break in, plug into the system itself in order to make any changes. That will prevent any of this bullshit that might come about because, like I said, we got some scandalous motherfuckers out here and they will do what they need to do to protect I was going to say black ass, but it seemed more it's like his white ass is killing black ass. But anyway, to protect their ass, we would need a neighborhood security and safety patrol. Now, you must live in the neighborhood in order to be part of this. That means no more getting somebody who lives in the suburbs to come work in the hood. If you don't live in this neighborhood, then you can't be a part of the security and safety patrol. You have to live there so people know who you are because you live here. People see you every day because you live here. People interact with you on a daily basis because you live here. Not somewhere else that we only see you when you coming in to do your job. No, you live here. So you know the people here. You know the terrain. You know the housing. You know the blocks, the streets. You know the little shortcut paths. You know where the people hustling dope. You know where the people, women selling pussy. You know where, motherfuckers, gambling. And, you know your neighborhood and you know your hood and you know who are the players in the neighborhood and who are the civilians in the neighborhood. And that would be better as somebody walking around patrolling our neighborhood for safety and security that way. Because we want you to do more than just look out after the neighborhood. We want you to actually keep an eye on the fucking police. So when they coming in there to arrest somebody or they look like they about to pull somebody and they about to start some harassment, then because of the surveillance system, we want to have somebody sitting in the control room keeping an eye on the cameras. The minute we see a police making action, boom, dispatched out to all security and safety neighborhood patrol personnel to immediately go to that area where the police is doing and maintain a presence to watch and observe his actions as far as them checking for ID or arresting this person or trying to find out who the person is or whatever, and keep an eye on these fuckers to make sure they not doing something that they ain't supposed to do, because apparently their partner is not going to step up and say, hey, what you doing is illegal, what you doing is criminal, stop, you going to hurt somebody or, this, that, and the other. Since the partner ain't going to do it, then we need to be in their presence and watching them and doing it and making sure they following proper police procedures and not motherfucker going off on their own tandem to do it the way they want to do it or do what they want to do. That shit has got to come to an end. And see, I would recommend actually using ex-cons and gang members to secure the neighborhood. They live there. So why not allow them to be part of the process in helping to secure our neighborhood? Look, y'all may not like the gang members or the gang bangers or whatever the fuck you want to call them these days, all right? But I recommend conversate with them. Sit down, have a meeting with them and say, look, I may not condone your drug dealing and how you making your money, but what I would request is that we designate an area in our community or our neighborhood and y'all hustle right out of here. Don't be in those schools, don't be at the storefronts, don't stay right here in this area, and we won't interrupt or deter any of your customers from coming in. Matter of fact, if we can find an area that has kind of like a private access point, a street that leads to the area that we gonna designate for them, Just like in Amsterdam, they have a red light district. Okay, we should have a red light district in our neighborhood if we got people living in our neighborhood who's selling dope. So instead of them all over the neighborhood, let's